Hmm. We have Celestis and we have Interaction, but we have all of our top end. I feel like this is a good way for us to get, like, in trouble, so let's mulligan. Alright, we can keep this. We have a burn down the house. Tuck a Bombardment. And then lead off with the Geothermal Bog, so we have access to play with fire. Seeing Esper on the other side of the board. So it could be blue-white control, could be Esper. Let's go ahead and just play our tap land. There's no reason to leave it up. And we'll just keep hitting our land drops. Missing our second red source, but I feel pretty good about our mana base. I think we'll get there. Go here, send it back. Gonna hold on, go for the throat. This could either be an Emperor or a... Nice, there's our second red over big score. I think so. I think we slow roll this for right now. If they go Emperor, we can leave the 2/2 and just shoot Emperor. They're going to Deluge. Okay. Might still be... Well, Esper Control. Mid-range, probably. I think we'll hold on to the Goat for the throw, obviously, for Shieldred. Bankbuster, okay. We do have a way to answer that in the form of Brotherhood's War. Brotherhood's End. Alright, cool. I like that. Now we have plenty of red. The only problem is 1, 2, 3, 4. So they do have the ability to hit us with that sweet, sweet. What are we discarding here? Is it burn down the house and we get that? Looks like it. All right, if they have counter magic, they have counter magic. Let's go here and want to still keep this. So let's just pitch that. This is going to allow us to activate. We didn't see a trespasser. Ooh. Okay, okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Play a land. All right, opponent. Show me the counter magic. All right, they could run Urtai. Dissipate. All right. So control variant. Fair enough. So we're just going to start running stuff out there till hopefully we can wear them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then we despair them. May hold off on the despair till they trigger that. I don't know. All right. Despair you. Play the tap land or play the Fable. Interesting. Interesting, opponent. So they draw, they make the 1/1, right? Play the land. We get to play Fable without losing one of our treasures. I think we're okay with that if they let that ride. We do have to be cognizant of Farewell. It's unfortunate. I guess if they draw, we can kill. Make disappear. All right, they got it. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we had the treasure. Okay, so that's why they... Okay, fair. Fair enough. There's Emperor. All right. So let's see if they minus. They minus, we use the treasure.
My people must contend with me.
She at 2 already? She is. Let's go ahead and just play with fire here. Why can't... There we go. Sack that. Get one of the ways they kill us off the board. And then they... So now Brotherhood's End can take out 2 of these things, right? Do that first, then play our Fable. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take the 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. And... Alright, so... Interesting. They're holding that off. Man. Kudos to our opponent. So, do we just play this? Destroy artifacts with power 3 or less. I think getting rid of the Bankbuster. We have plenty of board wipes to deal with the Samurai. Man, kudos to our opponent, man. There are some good people playing Magic. I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. I think it still kills it, right? All right. Keep the lands to pitch to Fable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8 feels good to me. I'm sure we'll draw another land we can pitch. Opponent's gonna deluge. We'll be taking 3 for a little bit, unfortunately, but I do feel, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and we should just. The thing is that we couldn't pull the trigger. They were really sandbagging that last activation, and so they were gonna get one of the two either way. And I think at least getting the 4/4 body that we can't get rid of with our board wipes is a little more relevant, right? 1 bombardment down. We know 1 is at the bottom of our graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4. They only have 1 blue up.
Here I am.
They're minusing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we at least get to clean this board up with a burn on the house. So that's good. Unless they're leaving up negate, then kudos to them, right? But we don't have to worry about Urtai. Interesting they didn't attack here. Alright, down to 16. Yeah, unfortunately, our decision is kind of solidified here. Burn on the house. We didn't have the untapped land, so if they have them make disappear, they got it. They could sack any one of these. Alright, cool.
The truth still eludes me.
I feel like they would have made that disappear, right? I think they would have, so I'm just going to play it. I think they're just going to draw here. Because they would easily just sack the 1/1. Okay, cool. I thought they got us. I really did. The downside is we don't have the Tameo safekeeping. But I don't think that's relevant in this position. I think our opponent has us regardless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since that rivalry. Alright. Cut down. Can't crew that, but they can draw. Go for the throat. Discard 2. 1 card bombardment. Alright. Arcane bombardment. They didn't have the. They can draw and cast it. Deluging. Okay, okay. And we could sack the Fable if they invoke us. So we have a chance. The only problem is we have a handful of dead draws, right? We have a handful of dead draws here. Obviously hitting our invoke pretty powerful. And I don't want to leave it unprotected just in case they have a march. So we're going to leave up the safekeeping. Let's see if they draw, what they got going on here. Taking the 2. Did they hit the farewell? That is the question, right? Did they hit the farewell? Ooh, is it a march? Please be a march. That would be fantastic. They're eyeballing it. So once again, we can handle march. We can handle... yes! Yes! Excellent! Oh, do they have the dissipate now? If they draw... Alright, let's destroy all artifacts with mana value 3 or less. They draw. So that means there's... Alright, alright. And then we get to go for the throat trigger. Protect it. Not bad. Not bad. And a land. So this is awkward, right? This is awkward because we do not want to lose our reflection. And I guess I should have thought about that and wiped the 2 dudes. So let's go here, leaving up go for the throat, pitching the swamp, trigger on our turn. We're going to do nothing with the Brotherhood's End. What do we hit? Invoke. Yes. All right. Do this first. Destroy artifacts and invoke you. We need to keep the reflection up to protect against their invoke despair. Okay, we have one instant. We get 2 treasures. Fire off the other one. We have the treasures. We can pay for it now. Discard. It's kind of risky. Kind of risky. No, I think we hold. I think we hold. Well, shoot. I really do want to protect against it. Alright, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it because I want to protect against the Invoke. They can easily have another cut down to get rid of the Kiki Jiki, and then we lose our Bombardment, especially with an Invoke underneath it now. So we hold. There's the cut down. Interesting. Interesting they keep cutting down. I mean, I guess they've identified the fact that this deck doesn't really capitalize on the Kiki Jiki part. It's really, as we stated before, the weakest part of this saga, where in most cases that's the strongest, but we're really not playing creatures. Alright, looks like they have... do we take the 1, or do we go for the throat to get another activation? I'm trying to think. This feels... Oh, never mind. Okay, no. This could be whatchamacallit. Oh, wait, we're good. We're good, because if it is an Emperor, we can go for the throat and trigger. Right? And Emperor has to be in play to +1, so we're good. Oh. Fizzle Sticks. I always forget about a Ganjo. Always. Oh, silly me, man. That was weak play. Very weak play. Very weak play. I always forget about a Ganjo. Every single time. Invoke them again? Get countered? I'm gonna go to my turn. Gonna go to my turn. Pitch our 2 lands. Pilfer's a nice one. Pilfer is a very nice one. Pilfer you. And we get to leave up Go for the Throat still. I think being able to activate in a pinch on their end is very powerful. Alright, so... Kill that. Let's have this happen. Ooh, and this resolves first? No, we don't want to destroy our treasures. That was close. I almost misclicked. Alright, let's see. Oh, I'm silly. Wow, man. Oh, my bad. That was a punt. We could have killed that and drawn an extra card. Oops. Oh, man. Sorry, I got carried away. Oh, the struggle. Gosh darn it. 2 cards that did nothing there. 2 cards that did nothing. We should have sequenced it the other way.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
This hits Planeswalkers too, right? Yeah, we're good. Pilfer. Hit the Go for the throw. Oh, this is great. So there's absolutely no reason for us to be cautious anymore. Absolutely fantastic. Love this. All right, let's do this. Wait, no we don't. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we did it.
I'll be back.
Keeping the board nice, clean, and empty, I think is correct here. They can't deluge. They're gonna cycle. Yeah, that was bad. We could have drawn an extra card there. That was my bad. The flip side of this too is also it takes away our Go for the Throat access. Nothing from the opponent. So they're just gonna deluge, look for answers here. Cycle. Go for the throat. We just hit him again. Burn our treasures here. We can also... Let's burn down the house. Burn down the house. Go here. Use our treasures to cycle. Oh, we don't have to play that, derp. Okay, so... invoke you, and make dudes. And then decline these two. I think we got there, man. I think we actually beat Esper Control, which is pretty sweet. Unfortunately, I made one misplay. One misplay was the sequencing there. Dissipate on the Invoke Despair. Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine. We don't draw cards, so kudos to them. That was a good draw from them. Can they still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Okay, fair. We get to cycle. We don't lose our... Yeah, this feels good. Why do we get 6 of these? Is that a misclick? What gave us 6? Did we have one underneath? I mean, they're just dead, right? I think we still hold. Do we let them draw or not? Yeah, because, I mean... Oh, we can just kill them. Never mind. We're just going to do it on our turn. They're cycling, so we're going to pause on their upkeep. And go for the throw our dude and kill them, right? I think that's correct here. Give them the least amount of draws. This resolves. All right, let's see. And do this wait, burn down the house, making dudes. Then we Brotherhood's End, destroying all of our guys. Then we invoke you and play with fire you. Okay, I think that got it. Decline that. I think that's gonna do it. I ordered it correctly this time. We got there. So let's see if they have the dissipate for... Okay. So they're still dead. They drew the dissipate. Kudos to them. Brotherhood's End. We could send that to the bottom. And then this will kill our dudes. That puts all the stacks. Trigger. I'm drawing a blank. Where did we get the other... Did we already have them in play? We did, didn't we? I don't know now. I have to go back and check the tape. But... Alright. Not a bad. That was an interesting game. I think it was close. It could have gone either way, but we got there. The second bombardment saved us. Okay. I think we can work with this. Nothing 1 or 2, but we got tap lands anyways, and we have Fable. So, I think we can work with this, my friends. Let's see what the opponent's got going on. Ooh. Mono black, you say. When we get to kill their 2-drop potentially. I did say potentially. Though Bankbuster does seem okay for us. Not too keen on not hitting our land drop though. So pitch, command, and Okay. Alright, we'll take the hit because we do need the ramp. Need the untapped land. We have big score. Here we go. Here and here, maybe? Oh, that's gross. That is gross. I'm actually wondering if it should have been burned in the house, honestly, and kept the play with fire to activate. I was thinking we weren't going to need it to kill something, but okay. We have some fodder for that. I think they're going to make a sacrifice, but... Okay. Well, that also means we're just going to take another 3 because they want to draw. Oh, they get to draw anyways. Okay. Fair. Alright. Kudos to you, opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we would have been able to kill Liliana. Okay. Alright, fair. But hitting the Titania command would not be horrible here. Drop the bombardment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't really have anything to do here, unfortunately. They are a mana away, though. Keep the treasure. We're gonna get pretty close, but we can... Man. Just trying to think if we use the... I think we do play the tap land. Yeah, play with fire would have been able to kill the Lily at the very least. Or shoot them in the face. I feel okay just because of the fact that they haven't hit their 4th land. If they had their 4th land, they had a chance to go land, invoke despair.
Drop it.
Keep the untapped land, I think is correct. Hold this because this is what we're going to activate. Ooh, a bank buster, really? So another question is, are we taking 4 here, or are we blocking? Right? Oh, man, I was worried about Trespasser. And they took the command. Gosh darn it. All right, well, at least we have a clear... So we are blocking, because we're going to go ahead and burn down the house. Burn down the house, triggering, giving us big scores, probably what we're looking at here. Yep, they kind of left us no choice. They did miss their land drop, but they could hit it here. They are going to draw 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So let's go here first. Clean the board. Do we get... we got to play with fire. Okay, reasonable. Go to the face. Fable. Not what we're looking for. We're going to bottom. We need another spell. Well, we are.
A delay.
So go here. Problem is there's no window. Like, they're going to get to crew. Actually, though. Ooh.
Consider yourself fortunate our motives lie.
Okay. I think we're okay with this. They plussed. They plussed. Sneaky, sneaky opponent. Alright, but we top deck our command. So, burn the treasure. Yeah. We can look for 2 lands, right? Do we just make a bunch of 2 dudes here? This is going to resolve... You just make 2 regular bears, but if we put 4 4s, they could block. Let's see what we hit. Burn down the house. Burn down the house. Tokens plus play with fire. So let's go tokens, right? And then play with fire. Play with fire here. Boom.
I will not spare you.
We couldn't kill them, but this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Kind of busted. Kind of busted. Kind of busted. We have another command. We did miss the treasure for Go for the Throat, but I mean, this is such a powerful combo. And they scoop it up. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Greetings, my fellow knights and Pantawans. Welcome back to the MTG Struggle Bus, where I, Jedi, struggle more to play Magic, so hopefully you don't have to. Casting spells over and over and over again is your jam, then you may have come to the right place, my friends, because that's exactly what's on the menu for today. We are revisiting Bombardment, but this time with a Jund twist. We've done it with Rakdos, we've done it with Gruul. Now we're combining the 2 decks to synergize or capitalize on Invoke Despair, already a very powerful finisher with Bombardment. but also Titania's Command that we've seen in a previous video, where you can just add a plethora of power to the board very, very quickly. Super awesome. Green is just a light splash here in this list. So we're really just running Titania's Command and safekeeping, because I wanted to keep the core red aspect of the deck, really because they're all auto includes. Fable ramps us and fuels us into, let's just go in the cards. Fable ramps us and into Bombardment, as well as discarding the spells that we want to, cleaning up our draw steps. We don't really capitalize on the flipped side of it, but it is still a enchantment that can protect us from Invoke Despair. Brotherhood's End, it's a necessary evil. Mono red and soldiers is very much a part of the meta, and so I think you have to combat that with a playset of these. One Celestis to be able to gain a little bit of life, fix our mana if we need to, and draw extra cards, filter through our deck. Playset of Go for the Throat. It's still very powerful. Yes, in an empty board, it's kind of pointless, but I think it's still a necessary evil to have to make sure we can get rid of those big creatures like Shouldered and occasionally the Sanctuary Warden. Pilfer. I think that it's very rare where this card doesn't do some work. It allows us to discard any card from the opponent. And so I think it's always going to have a hit. It gives us the opportunity to look at the opponent's hand and see if they have an answer to Bombardment or not going forward. One, play with fire, because why not? We just gotta get the aggro play, and having several one-drop waves of activating Bombardment increases the chances that we could play it and immediately play a spell after that. And of course, 2, and it could easily be 3 safekeepings to protect the Bombardment from things like March of Unworldly Light. It doesn't protect against Farewell or Invoke Despair, unfortunately, but it is a necessary evil. 4 big scores, because does similar to Fable, where it discards our cards. It's an instant speed spell, which allows us to trigger Bombardment on our opponent's turn, and it ramps us, so very solid. Invoke Despair, you guys already know. Burn Down the House, a great combo here with Command and Bombardment. One, it's a board wipe, very crucial for us to catch up. And later on, when we repeat it with Bombardment, we're able to make a bunch of devils that can then get a bunch of +1/+1 counters with the Command. Typically, you don't very often play the 2-land mode on this one. In our previous version, we did have a couple of utility lands that we did go grab, as we could sack and draw later on. So there was that. But primarily, the first one allows us to exile our opponent's graveyard most of the time. And it gets a little bit of value there, but also gains its life to catch up. But primarily, we're able to make 2/2/2 bears and put 2 counters on all creatures. So with just the 2 bears, we add 8/8 worth of stats on the board. With the devils from Bombardment, all of a sudden it's getting pretty hokey, because now we have 17 power on the board. So very powerful card. And then I will say this about the mana base. We did have a little bit of a struggle. So this was actually, I just went and modified the deck that we did in a previous video, where we had Rakdos playing Corrupt, and so all my lands were swamps. So when I went in and adjusted the mana base, I didn't think at the fact that we weren't running Corrupt, and so I made sure that every land counted as a swamp. So funny story, the mana base actually is not the most optimal. We can easily play less or fewer tap lands and still make out like bandits. So just keep that in mind whenever you guys do it. I will have this list in the link down below, just because this is what we played. But just know, when you make this deck, please, 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 by all means, change these 8 lands to untapped of your flavor. But that will do it for the deck list, my friends. So shout out for this video goes out to Alexander Stump. Alexander, thank you so much, my friend, for supporting the channel and me. Watching this ugly mug day in and day out, it means a lot to me. You rock, and this Jund Bombardment list is for you, my friend. All right, all of our lands come to play tapped, but we're going first. We have Fable to go look for our brothers, and we can pitch Invoke. So we're gonna keep this. And let's play the ones that don't cycle, just in case, for the oddball chance we get flooded a little bit. Play this so we have access to safekeeping when we should draw it. Alright, yeah, it's just fine. Only need, well, we do need double green. Also need double red, though, so let's go here. Well, luckily we're going up against potentially a... I know what we're going up against, actually. We'll see. We shall see, my friends. Leaving up old counter magic. There we go. We like to see that. Same thing. Play this, and... I guess we gotta burn their counter spells at some point. Nah. Thirst. Okay, so this makes me believe this is the Iconoclast, right? Or whatever, the 2/1 that makes a bunch of 1/1s. We haven't brewed with that card yet. We have not brewed with that card yet. So we can leave up Big Score. We can play Fable. That means we're going to sandbag these cards, right? So now they're going to wait to play it when they have protection. Could cycle, but I want to keep hitting our land drops. Ooh. You just main Invoke. Yep. Just gonna Invoke. I'm gonna start burning their cards. If they counter this, that's fine, because we can get it back, right? They're gonna consider. It doesn't mean they don't have it in their hand. They're just using mana. Yeah, they're definitely... Ooh. Oh, excellent. We hit an untapped land. Love it. Love it. All right, want to keep the board wipe. Want to keep the board wipe. So I think we actually pitch the big score. Keep our lands in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, since they didn't stop the Invoke... Ah, maybe that's why they didn't care. So let's go... Tap land... Invoke. And the reason why I'm doing Invoke is because then we have the chance, if they do go like Serpent or another Haughty Djinn, Burn Then the House can take care of both of them. So let's see if they have it, and they were just sandbagging it. Fading Hope. Okay. Definitely glad we didn't burn down the house then. Definitely glad we didn't burn down the house. Alright, let's pitch a tap land. Oh, two cards, huh? Yeah, 2 lands seems fine, I guess. Keep all of our gas in hand. Now we have the ability of playing Bombardment plus Safekeeping. Alright. Bombardment. That resolves. Interesting. Interesting. What does... I don't think they have anything to deal with Bombardment, do they? They can't Fading Hope it. Oh, they get in Soaring City. Okay, so we do have to sandbag the Safekeeping here. Oh. So our whip would be Big Score, right? I guess we have to do this now, because if we Bombardment and we whiff, right? Okay, cool. All right. Nice. Nice. All right. We're on the draw. Missing our second red, but we can pitch Invoke Despair. Yeah. When we keep this. Lead off with the old Geothermal Bog. That's pretty. I don't think it's pretty as the Skull. Forgot what it's called, but the one from Kaldheim, not Kaldheim. The super cool looking one that I like, the alternate art. We've mentioned it a couple times on this channel when people play it. Dragon Skull Summit. There we go. I think that's what it is. Ooh. Alright, alright. On the play against humans. Or soldiers, rather. So, going to be pretty important to be able to fire off. I like where we stand, though. The Brotherhood's End into Burn in the House feels pretty decent. I would, in theory, like to hit a second red source, so we could just fire off the Brotherhood's End on 3. But looks like that may not be in the cards for us. No reinforcements, no 2-drop. So we get a little bit of a pass here. That doesn't mean that their hand is stocked full of 3s, which is really where this deck kind of gets its power from. So it's going to be tight. Going to be tight. Let's see. Alright. So here's our window. Untap red source here would be pretty huge as we get to no cigar. Alright. Well, make a dude. So they are going to get to draw to at least replace the officer. This is half a card that we're getting. Let's see if we get lucky. Dropping a Cathar here, not the best. We really don't have a lot of things for them to get rid of. What we really want to do is... Okay, that's doable. Fortunately, we're going to have to take the full brunt of it. They may actually... Yeah, they have another 1-drop to play. So it actually doesn't matter. They'll get 1, they play a 1, they'll be okay. They only want to attack there, that's interesting. So they're leaving up the counter spell. They didn't have reinforcements last turn. We didn't play anything. So is this a soul partition? Or is this the negotiations, right? Interesting. Interesting. So it's nothing? It's pretty huge. Pretty huge. Alright, pitch and pitch. Tap land. Attack you. Oh, it's because they can draw. Alright, I was trying to think. I'm like, what's the pause? At 1, I was a little worried if it's like a fading hope and blow us out of the water, but we're good now. We're good. Maybe there was an argument to keep the Invoke Despair, but I don't think so. I can respect that. They get to draw, replace a card, but I like keeping all of our board wipes. This buys us all the time we need. We don't get card draw, so that is a thing, right? But I still think it's worth it. And we're just going to take advantage of the fact that they're tapped out, they don't have a counter here, right? Granted, didn't get much of a 2-for-1. They're still able to activate things, but still feel good about it. Maybe pitching the Invoke Despair was a little hasty, because that would essentially allow us to draw some cards, but I feel confident. This is a good matchup for us, just because we are running the full gambit. So we're going to take 1, 2... Oh, they didn't fire up the Mishra. Interesting. Okay. We're also in a position here where we can fire off the Burn in the House. And this is actually good for us, because what this does is it lets us know that we don't have to worry about getting ambushed out of nowhere if they play a Harbin, right? That's one of the power abilities, or the strength of Jotun Frontliner, is they can use it to fire it up to power up a Harbin. Now we can cycle. We can make dudes if we so choose. Do we go aggressive here? I don't hate that idea, actually. I think I'm going to. Just give them as few draws as possible here. The pause could easily just be, once again, crewing Mishra's Foundry. And we're going to get in there. If they have the reinforcements now, kudos to them. But I like the idea of chopping them, because the thing is, we're also running command, right? So we have the chance of making this board absolutely huge. We'll take the 2. Cathar gonna eat, I'm assuming, a devil. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting and risky all at the same time. Alright, opponent. Alright. We could cycle the Xander's Lounge if we so choose. I think that might be the play here. Right? Attack for 1, leave 2 back. They just take it. Cycle the Xander's Lounge. That gives us 3 mana. Do we cycle at main phase? We have our double red. That's for the most part all we want. I think we cycle on their part. Cycle on their turn. We have some chump blockers, right? Chump, hit him for 1. Chump, hit him for 1. We could still Brotherhood's in this. So it buys us some additional time versus having to wipe the board for just 1 card. We do get our Fable back, though. I wonder if that would have been incentive enough to just wipe the board. I don't think so, because then they just fire off the Mishra's Foundries. So... Yeah, this might have been a scenario we're pitching that maybe it should have just been one of the Burn Down the House and keep the Invoke Despair in hand, right? Okay, we're okay with this. Push comes to shove. No, safekeeping doesn't really do much for us. So block, get the land off the table, and then cycle. Could also cycle first. I'm trying to think, is it better for us to have more information or our opponent? Interesting. Okay, well, if they're doing that, then we'll just block with 1. So we're okay here. They want to protect the Brute. So whatever they thought we had is pretty astounding here. They're going to plus. That's fine. Eats up their turn. We're not necessarily worried about that. Block, deal 1 to you. I mean, that took up their whole turn, right? So we essentially time walked each other. But we get to draw a card. 2 cards that turn. They do not. Big score. Big score. Another Zounder's Lounge. Fire this off main phase. Pitching the Lounge. Still on defense. Not really worried about anything. There we go. There's the Bombardment. We can't play it this turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think we hold the Swamp. Because what we can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can play Bombardment, play Brotherhoods, and wipe the board, trigger the Bombardment, and then leave up... Well, we won't be able to leave up safekeeping, but there's really nothing that the Soldiers list can do on Bombardment. Soul Partition is the best thing that they have, and most lists are not really running it. They're running the Protect the Negotiators. So, yeah, I think we're in pretty good shot, my friends. Pretty good shop. Pretty good shape. I think I was trying to say either we have a good shot or we're in pretty good shape. 1 and 2. Don't know which one. There's really no point in blocking with both. I think we still just block with 1. See if our opponent overextends. They could... We haven't really seen too many variants running Tameo. Because, once again, it's a human samurai, not a soldier. So I don't think we have to worry about that. Decided not to fire off the Foundry this time. So I'm assuming they have something to do here. Okay. No value there. They may have forgotten about the dark side. Alright, let's do the thing that we said we were going to. Oops. Go here. And then just wipe the board. This feels correct to me. If we hit the big score, we can pitch this and then use safekeeping to activate on their turn. What do we get? Burn down the house. Interesting. Yeah, I guess we burn down the house and make dude, so it's more damage going to their face. This resolves, and they've seen enough. Fair. Okay, well, we can work with this. Keep this. We can work with this. We have a little bit of interaction. We'll be able to pitch, like, probably just Bombardment. I'm going to be digging for our board wipes here. Oh, nice. Get our second red, so Brotherhood scores online. Feels good to me. Looks like potentially Bant humans? Humans? The humanas. Let us see what happens. Ah, control. Okay, so it might just be blue-white control. So, I guess we just gotta make sure we stay ahead of the farewells. We have no real answer for farewells, unfortunately. So not really sure what we want to do here. Let's play here so we can big score. We're missing our green, but I think it's fine. Big score. I think we could pitch the go for the throat, right? Because the threat that they're going to have is Emperor. Go for the throat's just going to work against Hull Breaker. They're in the tank. We haven't shown them our green yet. And unfortunately, Farewell exiles, so safekeeping not going to protect against it. We'll take the one. That's pretty reasonable. Going to keep the land, though. Want to make sure we play our lands on curve. So go here. I mean, I guess we could protect against the March. Yeah, I'm going to pitch the go for the throat. We're hoping to draw a Brothers War, right? If they dissipate this, they dissipate. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's hold the land that we could cycle, play the one that we cannot, and hold what we got. No sense running out the bombardment into them immediately playing a farewell, right? And I think, no, we haven't given them reason yet to identify the bombardment. So I think we have to sandbag, play the first bombardment, try to get just like a big score to get a little bit of value. They farewell, and then, I mean, it's going to be attrition. Most of these decks only run 2 farewells, so we're going to have to fight through the first 2, right? And just be conservative about the way that we pitch. Okay, okay. And sure. Pitch a swamp. No, that way we have a 2 and 3 chance of getting a card draw spell off of a bombardment. Got plenty of treasures, which we might want to use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. My turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, play the first bombardment. They counter this. They haven't had a reason to, like, counter anything at this point, and they've had pauses, so we'll see. The awkward thing here... Oh, yeah, I guess we're good. We can cycle plus safekeeping, and we can actually... Yeah, okay, this isn't too bad. If they go for the farewell, then we can sack the treasures, and then after the farewell resolves, we can cycle. Send it back to the opponent. Let's see what they use. If they use March, they have to discard a card, and then we have safekeeping. So I'll take that. And then we'll pitch the Deluge. Okay, Deluge is going to go find the Farewell. Farewell takes up their whole turn. They don't lose their farmhand, but once again, we have 2 things to do, right? So... Actually, if they farewell, I guess since we can't do anything, we're just gonna Brotherhoods end their farmhand, or go for the throat their farmhand. I think that way we can keep the safekeeping for when they don't have the farewell and they have to use a March to get rid of our bombardment. Hopefully we hit a big score. That's really what we need. So we can pitch this Haunted Mire to potentially go grab us a little more gas and mitigate some of the damage. Now, the problem we go for the throating is obviously we don't get to cycle Zaitora's Proving Grounds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now they can march, and that's what we're kind of hoping for, right? They go to combat. Take our one smart, good sequencing from the opponent. That means we can't go for the throat to save us a little bit of life. Nothing. Nothing. What in Sam Hill is going on? All right, well. Burn down the house? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Safekeeping does protect us from a, what's his face? A Hull Breaker. Just make 3 dudes here. Leave up the safekeeping. Sandbag the other bombardment because we do have to play around that. Big score. Get rid of Brotherhood's End, because that's not really feasible here. Okay, all right. So, what do they have? I think we just swing. I feel like there's a board wipe in our future. Let's see if they tap out for Hullbreaker. That'd be sweet. Our opponent has showed at least... Oh, they can also just Deluge Derp. Yeah, they might just not really be worried about Bombardment. Right? Looks like they're going to Deluge. So we have access to 6 mana. We can cycle... And that's it. Unfortunately. So, let's see. Interesting matchup, man. Interesting matchup, my friends. How are we going to do this? They're in the tank. So, I mean, that doesn't say that they didn't get the Farewell, right? They could have just been Farewell plus another card that has taken them some time to figure out how they want to play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I feel like maybe this would be a slightly different game if we had hit one of our Invoke Despairs, but that's okay. Once again, the fact that they haven't fired off the Farewell immediately. There's the Farewell, and they're exiling everything. Okay, so... Let's see. I guess black... Green, red, 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 and red. Everything gets exiled. Simply just cycle. Okay, all right, that's something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Would like to hit a land here, because I am worried about make disappear, right? Oh, I should have been more specific. Should have been more specific. Because we do have the 1 for Arcane Bombardment, but I don't want to play... See, this is not Dissipate, but it could be, I guess, Negate we can't play around. It's just Fable. See? Fable and... Play the land. Hold the safekeeping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Full grip still for the opponent. Putting no pressure on them whatsoever, but that's alright. We'll turn the corner. They're going to draw here. Yep. Solid life gain. Solid life gain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, let's attack first. We will return the favor. So, Brotherhood's End can go. And I think we sandbag the burn down the house. Because that's another threat we could play to keep doing damage to them. Celestis, okay. So let's attack. Celestis will allow us to dig through our deck quite a bit. Now, the problem with doing that, though, right, is that it makes it to where now activating safekeeping to protect Bombardment doesn't do anything. And we actually can't play Celestis. That's a bit of a non-bow. Don't want to play the other Mirror Breaker. Don't want to play this. So I guess because of the fact that we have no choice, we just play it. Play the other Bombardment. They had to Dissipate. Okay. Nothing we could do there. Alright, Celestis. So we're at least able to filter through our deck some. And we'll hold what we got. See what we can do. I mean, should we have just played it? Was I being too conservative? Right? Because there's no way that they didn't have the Dissipate. And Dissipate's guaranteed counter. Alright. Alright, cool. We'll pitch a land. Another land. Let's attack. Yeah, and I think we're just digging. Keep the go for the throat because now they have both, what's her face? Adawara. Okay. Do we hold this for a planeswalker? We can just Fable. Can also just activate Celestis here as well. We may just do that. There's a good chance our opponent just lets us cycle. We can get rid of this Haunted Mire. But the controlled matchups are exactly why we're running a full playset of bombardments, because we're going to have to play through a couple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're safe from Hullbreaker, and they may not be playing Hullbreaker. Keep Play with Fire, another cheap way to activate, right? And this one's a little more proactive. So now we have the ability to proactive. They could also run Devious Cover Up. Okay.
Finally, I'm home.
Minus is cool.
May your blade strike true.
Try to kill it. See if they have the Make Disappear. Looks like they do. They do not. Or they're sandbagging for something relevant. Okay, okay. We can deal with the 2-2. We can deal with a 2-2, my friends. Oh boy. This game is gonna go along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we particularly care. I really don't. I think protecting... Yeah, I just... It's not our game plan, really. We want it for the first 2 parts, right? The third chapter, ironically in this deck, doesn't do much. So I think we're okay there. We block. I mean, I guess that was a little risky. That was a bit of an autopilot, right? Because they could easily have another Emperor. But I think we have to keep the safekeeping. Send it back, discard the Brotherhood. We can just do this and apply pressure. Let's do this and apply pressure. Let's do this and apply pressure. May cause the opponent to... They still have access to depopulate, right? They're deluging. And maybe that's incorrect. Maybe we should Fable, because really what we're doing is just looking for a bombardment. It is going to be funny, because, I mean, this is still a 10-turn clock, man. We're not doing anything to these dudes anytime soon. Almost kind of want to concede just to move on to the next game, but we're still somewhat in it. I don't want to overextend, right? I think we just do this. If they want to do whatever here, that's fine. I think the big thing is for us to just keep digging. All right. Pitch the Brotherhood. Decent sized graveyard. They scrutiny for 3. That makes me feel like it's the end. You can also exile their graveyard, though. We can play command, exile their graveyard, put +1/+1 counters, or make 2 2/2s, right? I don't think looking for lands is quite relevant. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. Try to play command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because they got a full grip. So if we can at the very least maybe eat some of their graveyard, right? We get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, but they could just fire it off in response. We could plus the team. Board wipe is really just a clock, right? It's a clock that they can easily deal with. So I think we do exile their graveyard and just make 2 dudes. I feel like that's the correct answer. And we could still cycle our lounge. They're going to fire off the deluge, right? Okay, they dissipate. We're going to attack. I think we give it one more turn and then we concede. They just have a full grip. Yeah, and you know what's funny is they haven't shown us a make disappear. They literally have not shown it to us. So I think I made the wrong call. I think this may have had a chance to potentially be a different game if I had just fired off that second a second one. Was I just too conservative there? Is that what happened? In that second bombardment, we should have just played it. If they got it, they got it. Because we should have known. Yeah, they got full grip. We're going to cycle, see what we draw, and then we're going to concede. They got plenty of mana and a full grip. They've only burned 2 counter spells. They still have the ability of having, like, Devious Cover Up. Okay. We'll cycle. Alright. There's the second one. Do we get there? We do not. So we're going to Fable. Pitch, Brotherhood's End, and Swamp. Hey, yeah. Let's see. Half of our deck left. 4 cards left. Do we want to... what are the chances of us getting a bombardment? I think I'm going to save you guys the trouble. I think we're going to call it. Good game. They controlled it very well. Oh boy, we're going first, but talk about seeing the wrong end of our deck, huh? 1, 2, 3 of our top end. We're gonna have to ship this one. There we go. We'll get our green, get our double red, get our triple black. We love this. Keep this, and not knowing what we're going up against, I guess Fable would let us draw into our answers. Having double Brotherhood's End against control feels kind of bad. So we'll go like this and lead off this way. That's what we end up seeing from the opponent here. Soldiers. Gosh, fizzle sticks. All right, all right. So, okay. OBKB. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Oh, do we get a land off the top? Do we get a land off the top? Pretty huge. Untapped land off the top. Of course, that means probably we're not going to get it every time. That's normally why you see me run more lands than usual, because I have a hard time hitting my land drops when I need them, despite trying to keep my curve as low as possible. Alright, down to 14. Safekeeping, not gonna do it. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so they play the big guy and we're dead. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate, considering this should essentially be a good matchup for us. Nice curve out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we don't die thanks to Tamio's safekeeping, but it is 100% now. All right. Untapped land or bust, man. Untapped land or bust. What a bummer, man. What a bummer. Good game. Fizzle sticks. So, definitely can't keep this one. Missing red, that's a no-go. All right, let's keep this and tuck the invoke and keep 2 board wipes. I think that seems reasonable for us. Play our tap land on 2 and see where we go from there. Really going to be looking for that 3rd land, preferably of the untapped variety. Mono white mid-range. So maybe keeping the invoke going to be a little bit better, just because we can grab like the wedding announcements and things of that nature. So let's see here. I mean, we really have nothing to do on 2. All right, nice, excellent, cool. We had nothing to do on 2 anyways, so Fable here. Oh, did I call it? So probably gonna go ahead and fire this off so they just don't draw cards, right? We can deal with the 1/1s as long as they don't get a head-on card advantage. We'll obviously be paying the price a little bit here if they have angels, but with another board wipe in hand, I'm not too necessarily worried about it. We can't big score here. Okay, play our land and hold. I think we just hold, let them Emperor develop their board a little bit, and kind of wishful thinking that we can get the burn down the house on curve. Interesting, interesting. They had something there. Were they holding on to removal? Seraph still dies to burn down the house, as well as, well, it doesn't die to Brotherhood's End. Alright, we got some shenanigans. We're gonna hold on to go for the throat for the Steward, right? Sanctuary Warden. Sanctuary Warden is really what we want to try to make sure that we can have the go through the throat for. So we're just gonna hold here. Take them, mitigate a little bit of damage that they do. We at least prevented them from drawing extra cards, which I think is quite relevant. Alright, draw and on curve. Excellent. Let's go ahead and clean this up. So we're actually ahead on cards here, which is kind of nice. So what are we looking at here? A March, Absence. This could be a plethora of things. They bounce it, I guess, maybe back into their hand. Soul Partition. And now we have 2 board wipes in hand, which is fantastic. The wedding festivity, a little bit of an issue, but if we can get our Invoke Despair, Crack-a-lackin', then I think we'll be okay. They're gonna draw. That's a good sign. Good sign. They're only cycling, so I like that. We get a pass on our turn. Here's our land. Let's go ahead and play this now, and we get to potentially ramp. No pause. So, oh, I guess the pause was, no, what was the pause then? Okay. Okay, that goes down. Fair enough, they were sandbagging that. Let's see if they crew or if they draw. We're going to wait for them to attack to kill the Lauren versus giving them the opportunity to... yeah, might as well, right? Then we can attack, get a treasure, and then big score to try to dig for our... I think whatever we draw, we're going to sandbag. Alright, cool. So let them attack. We'll take the 5. That way they can't draw a card. Then kill Lauren. That feels correct to me. Alright, cool. No block, because we want the treasure to be able to maximize our ability to play a spell immediately once we burn... or not burn the house, I'm sorry. Why'd they get +2? Oh, it's a 4. Never mind. It's a 4. Never mind. Alright. See, they have a... what? So they do have something. I'm so confused right now. Because there wasn't a pause before. Alright. Treasure. Oh, a Ganjo? No, they don't have mana for it. Pull the big score as late as possible. Pitching the Mire. We have our green source, right? Let's see. Let's see. This is going to be close. I think it's going to be close. Of course, them already showing the Lauren means that they're going to have ways of dealing with our... Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Warden comes down. We know about that. We knew that was a thing. Attack again. They can crew. See if they do. That'd be kind of nice, right? Okay, cool. Interesting. So they didn't... Alright, alright. I can get behind that. They want to keep it alive. Alright, let's big score first so we... Ooh. Ooh. Big score again? I think so. I think we really want to try to find our answer here. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Safekeeping is helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can gain some life if we want to. We can go here. I think we just make dudes. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Pitch the land maybe. And then we lose the safekeeping, but we have a board. I think that's correct. 2 plus counters. And then we could still attack with this one so we can get the safekeeping up if we need to. We're on a clock, no doubt about it. We're going to get to dig at least 1 card deeper. So, attack in the air and then make a blocker, right? But this is a lot of power we just threw on the board. I mean, literally we went from a 2-2 to 16 power. 16-16 on the board. Unfortunately, they are within the Ganjo range. Okay. So they give this vigilance, I'm assuming. And then the safekeeping is not going to work. That gives them something to sack. Yeah, we don't have a good answer, man. Don't have a good answer. I don't feel like we were incorrect to pitch the... Yeah, we just got to take it. Maybe they go lifelink. Oh, all right, all right. This may work. Let's see if they eat the counter now. Fall to 2. 2 is not dead against mono white. They draw. All right, so they're definitely aware of the threat. Sandbag the safekeeping in case we top deck. I mean, we have a couple options here to get us out of this. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Now, what are we looking for? I think what we need to do is hit... I don't know. I don't know what our out is, honestly. Opponent is pretty secure in what they're doing. Burn down the house. Man. Burn down the house. And our invoke. Attack with everything. They just block here. We don't... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 1 shy, man, of being able to do both of these. That's frustrating. We attack with these 2. Get the treasures. They block here. They conveniently left a shield counter on here. We can make 1/1s that shoot. We can fire this off first. That gets rid of this. Then that also means that these are... Alright, let's do that. I think. They lose the Anthem effect. That means these are no longer trades, right? I guess they can crew here. I'm not sure. Burn the house kills our guys too, so I don't think that's correct. I think the ability to draw a card may be enough. Man, I guess we should have. No, we really needed it to be a bombardment there so we can gain the life. Bombardment and gain the life to be able to sustain a little bit. Shield counter quite relevant. Okay, that's interesting. What is that doing? A land. A land! Oh, man, but it's sequenced. Oh, gosh, darn it. So... make 3 dudes. Oh, my gosh, it almost worked, man. Almost worked, man. So close. If we had made the 3 dudes, they just block one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Not enough. Oh my gosh. We were 1 away from the untapped land that would have allowed us to do both. But unfortunately, to draw that land, we had to sequence it poorly. No! Destroy that. We can protect that, but it doesn't do anything. It literally doesn't do anything. We don't care about that. So close, man. So close. So we should have done this so they had the block. They would have been at 1. Where did my math mess up at? Good game. Needed our meat hook. Oh man, so close, so close. Well played, opponent. Well played. Well, my fellow knights, that is the deck, and yeah. It's powerful. It is powerful. The ability to activate our bombardment and protect at the same time is extremely powerful. You saw it single-handedly won us that game against Control. I like the addition of Pilfer to kind of see what the opponent's got going on in the next couple turns, and it's very rare that that card isn't a good hit off of bringing it back with Bombardment, much like how sometimes Brotherhood's End isn't. But I think with the predominant of soldiers in the meta, it is necessary to have it. It felt great, man. Titania's Command is such a solid stabilizer and comeback mechanic, right? And I even could have played, that is one of the downfalls of switching decks so often, right? There were a couple times where I think I could play the deck even better, but yeah, the deck went great. The tap lands, probably should go down tap lands a couple times. I actually, so funny story, this was originally the list that we did earlier with Corrupt, and so I stuck with the Swamps Matters list, which is actually kind of funny because we don't need the swamp. So these actually could have been untapped lands. So that was my bad. And the deck still performed. I do think if you switch these to untapped lands, I think you have an even better chance of just going off with this deck because of the fact that you don't take that turn or 2 off that we saw a couple times. And so, funny, you know, hey, we caught the struggle bus for a reason, my friends. That was a struggle in deck building. But nonetheless, the deck is pretty straightforward, pretty strong. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. You rock. Until next time, as always, my friends, happy gaming.